We're live.
We are.
We're reunited.
And it feels so good. Reunited and something.
It's understood. It's understood. Hey guys, it's been like 2 weeks. Oh, I'm using that like a...
Reunited.
So it's been 2 weeks since we've been together in this room doing podcasts together.
Yeah.
And then tonight we were like, oh, you know what? Let's do 3 episodes.
Yeah.
No way to kick off the dust.
You're like, hey man, do you mind if we do another interview in between the episodes? And
I'm not gonna lie.
No.
I am not gonna lie. Okay. We had an opportunity. And then we had another opportunity.
Yeah.
And opportunities, I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with this before.
Opportunities?
But opportunities happen all at the same time.
Or none at all.
Or none at all.
So when they happen, you got to go for it.
Exactly. So we did it, and that's why we're starting this so late. So let's start it late, but also hit the intro now.
Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon! Bacon is my... Bacon! Bacon is my podcast! Bacon!
Interruption!
I was going to do the hold up. Hey. But that was better.
Nice.
There's no time like today to take care of your hygiene.
Indeed.
And one of those things that can help you, if you're a man or a woman even, Manscaped. Manscaped can help you with their lawnmower 4.0.
Yeah.
Their lawnmower 4.0 has skin-safe technology. It's a ceramic blade. It's waterproof. It's got a nice little LED light, so this way you can see underneath all those crevices.
Shave your privates in the shower in the dark. Don't actually do that.
Don't do that.
But you could.
Yeah, you could with Manscaped.
Because you have a light.
Indeed. And for guys, listen, the perfect package 4.0 is like where it's at for you guys. Because it comes with not only the lawnmower, not only the weed whacker for your ear and nose holes.
Well, we got one. So bring it up real quick. What you also get, so yes, for one, you get the lawnmower 4.0, which is ceramic blades. It's not going to cut you. It's got a guard so you can, make sure that you got a trim in some spots. You got to the skin in other spots. You make sure that beanbag's shiny. We also have some...
Package that beanbag in...
underwear.
The underwear.
Yeah.
It's got the little ball pouch.
It does have the ball pouch.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great.
Separate. It's technology.
This right here...
I like this.
Is for when you are shaving your balls.
Yeah.
It's little placemats, so this way...
It's like a newspaper.
Yeah. But then you just... You shave them, you crumple it up, you throw it away. No mess, no no fuss.
Yeah.
Right?
It's also got some. It's got some funny articles in it.
It does. It does when you read
I recommend you definitely read it, but not while you're shaving your nuts.
No. There's the ball deodorant.
Yes, I use it every day. Crop preserver.
And the crop reviver.
I don't use it every day, but I have used it plenty of times.
It is pretty fantastic. You need that midday spritz.
Yep.
Just psst, go for it. Freshens you up right away.
Who doesn't love a little spritz on the beanbag?
Exactly. And where do I keep it all? Well, right here. The shed, baby.
You know what? The shed is a pouch for the things to clean your pouch.
Exactly.
Right?
I use it personally for my toiletries when I travel.
You do? I've seen it.
I've got multiple. I've got a few of them. So, go ahead, manscaped.com. Use the promo code BACONPOD.
You get 20% off this entire order plus free shipping. Not only can you get the Perfect Package 4.0, but you can sign up for their program where they will send you new stuff automatically.
New blades.
Every month, every 2 months, every 3 months. You decide what you need. If you need new blades every 3 months, they'll send you new blades every 3 months. If you want to check out maybe the crop mops.
I can't talk about the crop mops enough.
They're my favorite thing.
Yes.
Get those every month.
When you
anyway.
come
Just
and you
get
hang
them.
out with us and we see you and stuff like that, we always have crop mops on our person. So
Yeah, it's
make
like
sure
a
you
business
ask us.
card, but for Manscaped and not us.
Yes. So go ahead,
Yeah.
manscaped.com, promo code BACONPOD, 20% off, free shipping. Call it a day. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And it fades in.
I got to change the logo on that.
Oh, because it's the old logo.
It's the old logo.
Because this is the new logo.
Right. And I haven't watched the intro. I usually skip past it when I go watch the episode. I like this because
You watch the episodes?
I watched at least some of them to make sure. Like I check the audio and I check the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check my work. I get it.
Yeah.
It's fine.
There have been at least 2 times in the past 2 years where I've been like, "Hey man,
Cooler than you are.
this
Cooler than you are.
there's something weird with the audio,"
Just cooler than you are.
and you were like, "Oh, I'll fix it."
Cooler than you are, dude.
You've always been cooler than me.
That's such a lie. Such an incredible lie.
I don't lie incredibly.
I am happy we're back together doing this.
I am too. I'm reaching down to get some ice.
Yeah, it's been a while. Like 2 weeks feels weird for me.
Me too. It really does.
Like I'm such and something that I've realized in my normal work life too is I'm such a I need a little bit of like a routine, like a little bit of structure and stuff, and
It
that's
helps.
something that I'm trying to
It helps me too.
like get on my my normal work schedule and stuff like that. It's like man, like I just need it. I need it.
Right.
And you know, another thing for me is I'm a creative. You're a creative, so we get it. Creative outlets, man. This is like one of them.
Today we're drinking Jameson and we just finished this bottle. We didn't drink the whole bottle today.
No.
It is the end of
We
this
started this 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Like it's super a part of my life, and like things that I know that I can count on, and as you get older, I'm sure everybody out there can
Attest.
understand to and attest to like the things that you look forward to in your life is a little bit harder that you know is just going to happen all the time, except for fucking work. Except for fucking work, right?
So for liking a routine and stuff, where does that end? Like, as there for people that like routine, right? Sometimes they like routines as far as like, okay, I like to be on a schedule, so I like to know when this is happening, when this is happening. Some people are like, okay, once I'm at where this is happening, I also need a schedule there and I need a routine there. And some people go even deeper where they're just like, okay, in my scheduled schedule, I still need a minute by minute breakdown of what's going on. Where's your...
Yeah, for me, so for those of you who don't know, peek behind the curtain, I am now working from home.
Yeah.
Which changes things tremendously, right?
Yeah, you have to make schedules.
You
and
have to
routines.
make a schedule, because if you don't make a schedule, I've done the work from home things several times. You'll not shower.
Right.
Or brush your teeth.
Right.
And then you'll go a whole day and somebody will come back and they're like, "Are you okay?"
Why are you gross? Yeah.
And it's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good." "Why?" "Well, you haven't showered or brushed your teeth." And it's
Or
like,
eaten. And it's
"Oh my God."
And it's 9 p.m.
Breakfast.
Yeah.
Breakfast or lunch. But I do think also, like, when you get into the real work stuff, right? Like you're when you have a real job and you get there at a certain time and stuff like that. For me, and I think that's one of my issues, is that like I'll be so entrenched in the work and the things that I'm doing that I forget to eat.
Right.
Or I forget to. So when I think about it, I'm like, oh well, like I didn't bathe or whatever today. And then when you still have a routine and you go somewhere and you do something, and Jen's like, "Did you eat breakfast?" I'm like, "No,
I don't know.
Remember.
I don't think so.
But I'm sure like a somewhat minute to minute would be better. But I can take what I get,
Yeah.
I'm trying to work a little bit more regularity into my my routine. Working from home makes it a little difficult, but I'm getting there. Like I'll take the kids to school at 9, and then I start work at 9:15, and then gotta pick up the kids at 3:18, and so like, what helps with that? Alarms.
Yeah.
The fact that you can take your iPhone and set alarms just for fucking everything, it's been great. So I have one for my wake up, for take the kids to school, for take my medicine, take the dogs for a walk. It's really nice to have that as a help for your schedule.
Nice. See, I'm one that I don't have alarms for like times to do things per se, but what I'll do is I'll have reminders that this just needs to get done, like today. Mm-hmm. So I'll have this idea of like, okay, so tomorrow I need to get this done, this done, this done, this done. And if it's, a lot of things, I'll be like, okay, I have to leave for work at this time, so these are the things I need to get done before I go to work. Mm-hmm. And I'll just get up and I'll start on them, and then I'll cram, and then I'll stress, and I'll
yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny too, because when I like present certain things to you too, you're like, I'll see if I can work it in.
Right. Right.
And and usually like an hour later it's done.
Right.
And I'm like,
well, that's usually what I mean is I'm going to see if I can work it in right now.
Oh, okay.
Right. Because it's
like so we text. Yeah. That's the thing. So when you're a highly motivated person, you're always doing shit. One of those things is like, hey man, like can you throw this in? And you're like, and I fall victim to it a lot.
Right.
Where I'm given like a specific task to do, like. And then, like, so I'll have my days planned out, right? Mm-hmm. And then a new thing comes up. And you're just like... the air in the room has been sucked out because there's, like
a new thing. Right.
That's a wrench in the spokes. Like, what are you doing to me? So, like, the couple of times that you have... And I know I hit you, like, I hit him really early. Right?
yeah, you get me early.
I'm a pretty early riser. I have to wake up by 8 and stuff. If I had the choice, I'd sleep until 3 p.m.
Yeah.
I'd go to sleep at like 10 p.m. and then I'd wake up at 3 p.m. Right? But that's just not... Yeah. That's not feasible. Right?
Yeah. Like, see, I don't have kids, so I go to bed at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And I get up... I've been trying to get up at 9 now because I've added new things to my day. Like right. I've added like, okay, it's getting nicer outside. So, and I'm now trying to do yoga every day.
Nice.
I'm 4 days in to trying to do yoga every day. But I've done it every day.
Okay.
But it's like...
You have to start somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. I go through periods of being super motivated about stuff and then like being tired in the morning. and then time gets away from me. But so I get up a little earlier, yoga, take Bruce for a walk, and then get back and start like doing things, right? Yeah. Get back, clean up, start doing things. So when you hit me at 9, it's usually right when I get up. So it's not too early. It's not too bad.
Sometimes it's a little early.
But sometimes it's a little early.
But like sometimes it's what you wake up to. And,
right.
And then when like some of the answers I get, I'm like, he just woke up. It's fine. It's fine.
Yes. I guess. It's usually that. But when you do send me something, that's what I mean when I say I'll see if I can work it in. It means, okay, I'm going to bump something. And I'm going to try and do this right now. And I know I don't have to, but it's like that, to me, that's how it's going to get done. Because if I put it off till tomorrow, then I've put it off once.
See, which is crazy, because like you talked about how you do reminders, right?
Yeah.
And for me, reminders are... See, it's weird, because there's no like... Not necessarily, right? But like sometimes there are time restraints to it, right?
Yeah.
So when it's like you wake up and you get this, hey, go ahead and do this. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, right?
Right.
But reminders are just kind of like annoyances, right? So
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, you have to do this. You know, you have to do this.
Right.
You know, you have to do this. You know, you have to do this, and like, by the fourth or fifth one, you're just like, fuck you, I just want to lay down and watch some kind of like great movie.
What I have is similar, but that's what I have with alarms. Because alarms are like, you have to do this at 10 o'clock. And I'm like, I'm not going to do something when you ask me to do something.
Okay.
I'm going to do something when I decide I want to do it. Right?
Oh, I like that. Oh, okay.
So a reminder is like, all right, I got to get this done. Do I have a second now? I'll get it done now.
I have.
If not, I'll get a reminder
time.
Later.
Right.
And if I got time, I'll do it. And that's why generally when you send me something, I can get it done right when it happens, because I'm always in the mindset of, if you're asking me to do something, you're in the middle of doing something that would be easier if you had it. Right? Because that's when you're thinking of it. So you're planning on doing something that requires what you're asking me for.
Okay.
Right? So the sooner I get that to you, the easier it makes your life, the sooner that it gets done, and then it's off both our shoulders. Right? So to me, when you ask me that, my first thing is like, okay, do I have a second right now to do that? I'll just shove everything later. And because I don't have an alarm, I can do that.
Oh, man. See, that's a... Wow, you've opened things up. Because here I am, I wake up and I have my alarms to do things.
Right.
And then when I ask you, you know I have my alarms to do things.
Right.
So you're like, this is my alarm to do something.
Right.
It's like the fucking Matrix here. Like, what are we...
We're in Inception.
So what I do want to say is, hi, Donna.
Yes.
I know it's been a little while.
Hi,
I'm sorry.
anybody that's watching us.
I didn't mean to say hi 9 minutes later, but I do want to say thank you to the patrons.
Yeah, who are watching us live.
Live right now, because we do this live every time we get a chance to.
Yep.
On patreon.com/bacon is my podcast. We get all sorts of extra shit, which a
lot of your extra shit
is
new songs,
is like new songs. I got a drum through.
Nice.
Yeah. So I put a new song out last week. It's called Separate Ways. Mm-hmm. And thank you, everybody, to your positive comments about it. The patrons got it about a month ago.
Yeah.
And then a couple of weeks later, they got the lyric video. And I think like a week or two later.
Right.
They got the lyric video that came out yesterday to everybody else. Mm-hmm. So you guys have a drum through coming through your way before it hits strangerhoodtv.com, where this is also streamed.
You're kind of a big deal.
You're kind of a big deal. But yeah.
As Mr. Burgundy would say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know who's got a great Ron Burgundy mustache, and that I appreciate more and more and more and more? Nick Offerman.
Oh, definitely. Oh, he's got a Ron Burgundy vibe to him.
No, I feel
so.
like he.
I
think the voice and the delivery maybe, but I think on the overall, I would rather hang out with God damn.
Nick Offerman? Ron Burgundy?
No, but what's Nick Offerman? His character's name in Parks and Rec? Escapes me.
I don't remember his name.
I'd rather hang out with him than Ron Burgundy. I think.
Oh, not me. I want to be in one of those like suit news battles in the back of a parking lot somewhere.
Yeah,
throwing javelins at people.
I mean that. Yeah, I mean, would I turn that down
with the ghost of Stonewall Jackson? I want that in my life, man.
I mean, would I ever turn that down? No. No, fuck, no. I would
Rosie
never.
Mantooth is a saint.
It's a fucking saint. Parks and...
no, Ron Burgundy is to, like, if Nick Offerman went to the Jersey Shore Fest, right? And he went to one of those people that were sitting on the boardwalk drawing caricatures of people. Mm-hmm. The caricature of him is Ron Burgundy.
No. But you need to. Ron Swanson is the name of his character.
Yes.
And I'm waist deep into Parks and Rec right now.
Nice.
And I know I'm sorry. I'm super sorry to all the people who are like, it's been over for a while. I like to.
Hey, we all find things on our own time, right. People.
We're in an age.
There's no wrong turns, just alternate routes.
But Ron Swanson, you haven't watched Parks and Rec because you're not a shows guy.
I've seen episodes, but I haven't gotten.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ron Swanson is everything we want to be.
He's great. Yeah, he's hilarious.
Everything that we want to be.
Right.
And I love it. So, yeah, I'd rather hang with Ron Swanson than Ron Burgundy. Only because there's no expectations. Mm. There's no expectations. And then if you're like, if you don't talk at all, but just eat a steak and drink a whiskey with him, he's way more happy.
Yeah, he wouldn't like me.
You like to drink whiskey and
but I like to steaks. Talk. I'm way too talky.
I know you say that, but when we've been on road trips together, we've even talked about it, where it's just like, you know what's nice? I don't have to talk all the time.
All right.
We've had that discussion.
We have had that discussion, but that was a discussion that we were talking about.
but also it was after a little bit of silence.
Yeah.
For a little while.
Yeah, well, I don't feel like I have to entertain you.
Yeah.
Right? You know, like when we're hanging out, I don't feel like I got to like... I mean, not that like... I know some people watch this that I've hung out with. I don't feel like I have to entertain you either. But like, there's always like this... I don't know. I feel like there's always kind of somewhat of an expectation.
Well, that's that whole rock star thing where you're just like, how do I want to be portrayed? How do I want to be viewed? How do I want to like...
It's not even that though, because it doesn't have anything to do with me as a performer or musically. It's just like me as a friend. I always feel like there's some expectation that if there's a lull in the conversation, I gotta fill it or pick the direction or figure out where we're going or you know, like, which is my own weird psyche. But it's like,
no, I get it.
You know, I feel like I gotta do that, which I don't think I think that's probably something that I've always kind of had.
It's not a singer thing. That was an unfair thing for
me. Well, no, that probably pulled me into being a singer and an entertainer and a performer. My mom used to tell me stories about like when I was a baby. Like my mom and my dad got married when I was 3. So up until then, we lived like. I would stay with my grandparents. She would bring me everywhere, and like one of her jobs was she would go like cut hair in Cleveland at the university. Mm-hmm. She'd go to the college and she'd give haircuts in the dorms and in the sororities and stuff. And she would just bring me along, and she'd bring me to parties, and she'd bring me on all these things. And when she would bring me there, I would kind of like take over the whole thing because people would pay me some attention, and so therefore I would start creating a scenario. And I'd be like, we're going to play this game, and you're going to be this person, and I'm going to be this person, and I'm going to do this. And she's like, I'd come into the room, and you'd be in the room, and someone would be on the floor, and you'd be Superman, and someone would be flying you around the room, and there'd be a storyline that you created, and there'd be something going on. So I always kind of had that.
Yeah.
So I think I probably always just in me had that kind of a performance aspect to it. So
That's interesting.
So there is a
really interesting to me.
So there's definitely an element of comfortability when I'm hanging out and I don't feel like I have to perform. Mm-hmm. Even though I love performing, there's an element of comfort where I'm just like, hey man,
I don't have to be that.
We didn't talk for the last 30 minutes, and I don't feel like you hate being here with me. Or like you're questioning why I'm around.
Yeah.
And I think I do that with other people.
Yeah.
I think I tend to. Yeah. I tend to be like, if there's a lull in the conversation, I'm like, they're regretting being here with me.
Yeah.
I should probably up my game right now. Quick reminder that this show is brought to you by our brand new sponsor, Mythical Beards. Check them out, mythicalbeards.com. You can get stickers, you can get hoodies, you can get all that kind of stuff, but most importantly, you can get shit for your face.
Keep your beard fresh, keep it clean, keep it groomed. If it's good enough for Mick Foley, god damn it, it's good enough for us.
I'm wearing the Kraken right now.
I am actually wearing the Dracula.
Nice.
And that's why I smell like an old-time barbershop.
If you go to mythicalbeards.com and use the promo code
BACON15,
you get 15% off your entire order. The show is also brought to you by our good friends at GrillYourAssOff.com, where you can also get 15% off of your order of all spices, grilling rubs.
They're delicious freaking sauces.
Yes, delicious sauces, all that kind of stuff. Every season is grilling season if you like to cook.
Yes.
So definitely check it out. GrillYourAssOff.com. Use the promo code
BACON because it'll keep your grilling season all year fucking long.
15% off with the promo code. 10% off at drinkwildbills.com, where you can get all kinds of great sodas, which we've seen lots of mixers for. So keep sending them in. Hashtag drinkwildbills. Hashtag what's your bacon. Send us your beverage options.
Of choice.
And also poddex.com. You can see them in another part of the show.
Yes, indeed.
But both of those, 10% off, use the promo code BACON. So
yes.
Check it out. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you got. Use them. Find them. If you can't remember what we just said, go to baconismypodcast.com. Everything's there. Check it out. Thanks for watching.
I'm out. I'm out. Something that I do want to talk about is because it's our first episode since the guests that we've had is how do you feel about having the guests on here? Because like we occasionally have those times like so like okay we have in the past, right, our shows have been sometimes 2 months in advance, right?
Yes.
And
there was a period where we were so far in advance that we literally had to not book things.
Right.
Because it didn't make sense for anybody that was going to be a guest.
Right. And 2023, I made a very conscious effort to not do that.
Right.
Because it was
then we went to 3 times a week.
You asked. You're right. You're fucking right.
Right.
Okay. But also, at the same time, okay, so I've made a conscious effort, only because, like I said, when we were so far out, we were missing out on opportunities.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, absolutely.
We're not fucking Joe Rogan.
Right.
So we can't book things 3 months in advance and it be a big deal.
And people are going to wait.
Right. So we have decided to consciously pull back, be 1 or 2 weeks ahead, and that's really it.
Well, and simultaneously, we decided to do
Then
these.
also do these,
Yeah.
where it was, like I said, at the very beginning of this, it was like, hey, we want to kind of bring it back, and I know you were not frustrated.
No, but I was definitely pushing.
But definitely,
for this.
like, you definitely were like, hey, man, like, people listen because of us, too.
Right. Yeah. I was like, the guests aren't selling us.
Yeah. But I unfortunately put us in a place where guests were constantly knocking at the door.
I don't think
So
that's
it's
unfortunate at all.
Right.
But-
Not unfortunate, but the fact of the matter is that now we had put ourselves in a position that we were finally relevant enough in a timely enough fashion that guests were like, hey, we want to be on your show.
Right.
And we want to push our things, but we can't do it 4 months in advance.
Right.
And then we were like, hey, we've found that happy medium, but also we want to do our shit.
Right.
So I was like, all right, well, let's do 2 times a week.
Which has worked out.
Which has worked out.
Hopefully.
It's worked out.
I mean, I don't know if you guys are...
Hey, listen.
I mean, you don't have to listen to it 3 times a week. You guys can listen to it whenever you want. So.
Yeah, well, 3 times a week because we put the Biggest My podcast, the 7 questions out, right?
Right. It's a show. It's its own thing.
It's a
different.
Thing. I guess.
And the Twitch, that's 4 times a week.
Yeah. Right.
We got a lot of content.
We got a lot of content.
But you don't got to watch it in order. You can watch it whenever you want to watch it. But
I kind of put us in a position that we're just kind of like, hey, what if we were to do, in order to not have to quadruple book and do extra and be 2, 3, 4 weeks out and this and that.
Right.
We were like, what if we do guest co-hosts?
Yeah.
Right. We had AJ on last week, a week from yesterday, doing his
discussions
episode
and
with
drinks.
you.
Yeah.
And then I had Tori
And you got Tori and...
to do like the regular Monday episode.
What's Your
with,
Bacon and the episode, yeah.
with Johnny from
Outline and Color.
yeah. So, what are your thoughts on it? I mean,
I thought it was cool. I thought it was different and it was cool. I thought, I think I had the easy job, right? Because mine was discussions and drinks. I didn't have to prep anything, which I don't prep
Right,
for
you had-
these anyway. You know what I mean?
well, no, you do. You prep. Don't.
Well, not for our discussions and drinks.
Right. Oh
episodes.
no. Right.
You know, like for the interviews and stuff, I got to do a lot of prep, and I got to, I do research and all that kind of stuff. So you had to do all that still.
But we had AJ.
I just had to hang out with AJ and talk about whatever we were going to talk about. And AJ's awesome, and he's a great talker, and he's engaging, and he's fun, and we like a lot of the same things. So it was really like, we just had a great time. And the only bad part was like, we missed you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was like, man, it would be fun if Mike was here.
Yeah.
And we even talked about it a couple times. And we were like, we got to do a part 2 with this and have Mike involved. Because, like, he'd have thoughts about all the things that we're talking about and all that stuff. So I think I had the easiest job out of us with the guest host thing. So what was your experience like? I only got to see 7 questions, and I thought you guys did a great job. I thought Tori was a good me. I think she did a good job. I don't think she talked enough. I think she could have engaged more, but I think she was being respectful and she was holding back and like finding her places. But I thought she did a fantastic job, and I thought it lucked out because you had a great co-host and you had a great guest.
Yeah, we did talk about this prior to the whole situation happening. We were like, all right, well, you know what? Let's get a guest that we've had on already, right? And going into the episode, I'm not going to lie, I kind of petitioned heavily to have Skaggs on.
Just because he'd been on before?
Because he had been on before.
Right.
Like, so Outline and Color, Skaggs, he was one of our very first episodes. Not only, like, one of our first episodes, but one of the ones that we were like, hey, we talked to this guy for, like, 2.5 hours. Just let's leave it as is, right?
Yeah.
And we put it out, and it was listened to a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like... And that's why we stopped doing 2-part episodes.
He was the one.
He was the one that we were like, hey, this went really long. Like, do we do 2-part episodes, or we do just like, and we said, you know what, this is like a 1-part. Like, fuck it. Like, if people have to listen in increments throughout the week,
at least they can pick it and they don't have to wait.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's where things like started to pick up with the way that we did our interviews.
That was a learning experience. That was one of our.
But I also
turns we took.
Yeah, but at the same time, it was one of those things where I was kind of like, hey, it would be great to have Skaggs on to heckle Jonathan,
right,
on his 7 questions, right,
but. Although Jonathan was great, it looked like he was.
I'm gonna say
it looks like he'd watched the show because he was. He was like ready for things.
Well, so it was funny because I do think that based on the fact that I was kind of like, hey, we're gonna have a guest host, and I didn't know how much Tori would lean into things and stuff because, like, hey, Tori Kravitz is a fucking journalist.
Yeah, she's a pro, like and we are #professionals.
Right.
There's a difference.
Right.
Don't let anybody tell you there's not a difference.
And you know, like, she works for Knotfest. She does the thing.
We are the wish.com of journalists.
Yeah, exactly. So
the Bobby Heenan of broadcast journalism.
You know, like, you think about it and you're just like, oh, well, you know, like, she may have just started a podcast 3 months ago, but they are at as many followers as we are on social media in 3 months as we are in 2 years. So for me, it was a little bit like, ooh, fuck. But on the overall, like I said, I was trying to push for Skaggs to be there too, so there was going to be another intermediary to kind of have Skaggs heckle a little bit while Jonathan answered the questions while Tori asked. But while I do say that, Tori did lean into a lot of the fun nuances of it.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things that I didn't expect her to do. But I, you know, like, you do the odds. So you take the first question. She was taking the first question. Yep. She's like, all right. And she leaned the fuck into it. And it was awesome.
You did me proud, Tori. You did me proud.
She did a really good job. And even when it got into the latter questions, it was one of those things where she's like, okay, we've had some fun.
Right.
And it was like, oh my God. Like, you get it. I will say on the other hand too, Jonathan, I think it's because Skaggs did come on to the show prior.
He clued him in on some stuff.
He knew that he can watch something else.
Right.
I don't think that he would have subjected himself to that willingly. Right? Because Skaggs was like the second or third or fourth person we had done this with. Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe Jonathan did a little bit of research, but he was super into
like he did. It seemed like
he was super into it, super willing, super, like,
he was a great
able
guest.
to do it. He was a lot of fun.
I was actually, I'll be honest, I was a little bit like, oh man, I wish I was there because I would have had so much fun on that. Because he was such a great guest, and
he was willing to, like, push into it. And then, you know, like, the full episode, it was a lot of conversation. It was just like hanging out, and, you know, that's what we do the 7 questions for. Like, full disclosure, we did the 7 questions, and you came up with that idea because you were like, hey, how do we break the ice and, like, make them realize that this is not, hey, remember that time?
I stole it directly from Stephen Colbert.
Yeah, he did. But you know what?
It's the Colbert questionnaire.
Yeah, but honestly,
what number am I thinking is literally one of his questions.
right. But
I
the
just
rest
thought it was
aren't.
such a good one. The rest aren't, but
rest aren't.
I thought that was such a good
Yeah,
one.
but on the overall, I mean, I just think we've put a template out there that makes it really universally great. And I'm super proud of what we do.
Yeah, me too. Man.
Did I miss you? Yes.
Ah.
I did.
Thank you, buddy.
I missed you. I missed you.
Tori did great, though.
Tori did a good job. Tori
was a great me.
It was funny because
And AJ was a great you.
and,
But AJ was like another me. It was like me and me hanging out.
right, because you had Undertaker hats.
Because we had Undertaker hats on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we both looked like Quakers in werewolf shirts.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I mean Tori was good. You know, Tori was great. You know, she's with the band. Go listen to it.
Right.
We have a mutual a person, right? Annie was on it,
Yeah.
which was a great episode
Absolutely.
because like
And he
they
was
were
on it
used
because
to-
of us,
right,
which is great.
right.
Which is the point. That's the
point.
point.
We want to make connections with great fucking people.
We want you people listening to hear artists, musicians, actors, whatever, and find something interesting about them, and then check out their work, and
So-
then find something else you like, and then we want to take them, and if we meet somebody that they'd be interested in, we want to put that connection together.
It was funny because like so we had Tori on, and then she told us about she's with the band and how that's going to happen. We made the connection with Annie and stuff, and then they had Melissa Cross on an episode, and I listened to it, and they talked about an episode that they had Lena from Infected Rain on, right? So.
So incestuous, this podcast.
Okay. So what I will say is this, all right? So like originally
We need to have Melissa Cross on, is what you're saying.
we need to get yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. But like Tori, back when she started working with us, she was one of the first that gave us a real chance, right?
Yeah.
And she gave us a lot of really great talent, really great episodes, really all that stuff, right? But one of the things, like with some of the higher profile talent that she worked with, was why do you work way too far in advance, right?
Yeah.
That's how we got Emma Rosa is that we were like we do work way too far in advance, but you know what, fuck it, like let's do fine, we'll take him this weekend,
Right.
And we work things out, but now she's in the host of the podcast seat,
So now she's getting it. She's
they're like 3 months in advance,
right. They're like, oh my god, it's so easy to get this far in advance.
So they talked about it on the Melissa Cross episode and held it back, and I was talking to her and I was like, "Yo, dude, you talked about the Lena Scissorhands episode. Can you tell me when your episode coming out? So when I try to do my research, I don't have to listen to a bunch of shitty episodes of shitty podcasts,
Right.
and I can listen to yours." And she's like, "Oh, dude, it's coming out like April 10th," and I was like, "That's literally
way after ours.
no."
Right. Or the week after ours.
No, it was the day.
Really? The day after ours?
The day ours came out.
Oh, shit.
I was like, that's literally the day that ours comes out. And I was like, great. Now I have to listen to shitty podcasts. But yeah, you know, like it was super cool. Like, you know what, man? Like, that's what the scene and us as musicians, and that's why we've done pretty well where we live, is that we treat it like a scene. And that's the way that I've tried to treat the podcast thing is.
Yeah.
You know what? Like it takes a village.
100%.
Right? So we talk about the band thing, right? And so we have a group of bands that we consistently trust and consistently collaborate with and consistently do some great things with and stuff like that. That's because we're all face to face and we're able to work on a local level. But like here we are in the year 2023, and you can still do that on a global fucking level, right?
Yeah, you really can.
So for me, it was one of those things where I was just like, all right, well, you know what? If yours comes out the same day as us, fine. And sure enough, I was able to listen to, and you know, like what we do and what a lot of podcasts do are fucking different things.
Very different things, yeah.
And the way we were able to position a lot of stuff, even though I didn't get to listen to their episode prior to, we both touched on different stuff. Mm-hmm. And to me, that's really cool because I was able to shout them out. I was able to be like, yo, if you didn't get enough of Lena,
go check her
them out
here.
on here.
Yep.
If you didn't get the basics down, go listen there.
Right.
Because I know that her and Alicia do quality interviews.
Right.
It's not the Chris
But they're
Farley.
staying on that topic of... They're staying on the relevant topic of the band stuff, so you're
gonna
get all that information.
Well, it's also like
versus we're gonna get the
she's with the band where it's like
you're gonna get the band
females-
information there.
Yeah.
We're gonna ask her what her throat tattoo felt like.
Right.
So you're gonna get
she
both
finished it
those
this week,
things.
by the way.
I saw that. Looks great. Looks great.
Looks great. Looks painful.
So one thing I got out of us doing that I don't know. I hope you took a second to like realize when you were doing it is I was like, okay, so you and I, we're friends, we're in bands, and we're a couple of dudes that decided to just stick a mic up and start talking and maybe reach out and talk to some people.
A blue mic.
Yep. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. They should be.
They should be. And just kind of like,
we've done things to
do
make
it
this
for fun and see what happens, right? And we're a couple years into this, but we were able to because we weren't going to be together for a weekend, we were able to reach out to and get the singer of an incredible band in Florida, the singer of another incredible band. I don't remember where Outlining Colors. Tulsa, that's right.
Oklahoma. Oklahoma.
And Tori, an incredible PR interviewer, journalist, everything,
she's
right?
Done everything.
So just based on a couple of dudes figuring it out and just having conversations, we have made connections and made friends to the point where we needed to have somebody come in and do an episode of our show, right? Like, they have to, one, like us, two, not think appearing on our show is a step down for them in any way, right? Understand that the view of them coming on our show and guest hosting doesn't look like they're slumming it.
Okay.
Right? So we've put ourselves in a position and built ourselves to a level and made friends and connections to the point where we were able to get from different parts of the country people to come in and help us do our show. Right? They didn't get paid to do that. They came and put a couple of hours of their time.
You know what they did? They did get paid in the Big E.
In the Big E.
Exposure.
But yeah, like, did you take time to... I hope you took time to realize that, because I did. And I was like, this is pretty awesome because, like...
No.
2 years ago,
No.
right?
I
2 years
fucking
ago,
didn't.
we would have asked Annie and DJ.
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
we would have had
Still had a
friends
great
do it,
show.
which would have been great shows, and they would have been awesome. And it's just, I just think it's really cool that, I mean, these are people that get, their time is valuable, their time is worth something, and they think enough of us and they think enough of our show to go, I will come on a Sunday or on a Tuesday night, which I did with AJ or whatever, and I'm going to give you guys a couple of hours of my time and appear in your show, and I'm going to, whatever prep they're going to do, I'm going to prep for your show.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to listen to the show and figure it out.
For me, I like, okay, so we can look at this from like several ways, right? For me, I was so nervous, right?
I was humbled and appreciative. 100%.
I was super humbled and appreciative and like still the day after
Yeah.
release or like the day after editing and uploading.
Yeah.
I was still very much like, how did we pull that off? Like I
Right.
like that's still where I'm at.
Right.
Like all the things you said, like people appreciate us in different parts of the country and this and that and making the contacts and you know and you saying it after I legitimately said it. Like it takes a fucking village.
Yeah.
Right? For me, it was just wild that I was able to pull it off. It was like
Right.
I thought, man, maybe we can like figure out how to do another day if I like come after a craving strange practice or
Right,
something.
right.
Just to like do something else. Right.
And I had resigned myself to that too. I was like, all right, I might have to like pull a late night one week and we'll figure it out. Or
And we didn't have to do that.
right. And we didn't have to do that.
That's fucking wild to me.
We didn't have to do that because
So that is wild to me.
because
More of the fact that like
people were willing to.
people were willing to. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It blows my mind. Like, okay, so I'm trying really hard to be a stop in the moment and look around and appreciate the moment type of person. And I've never been that person. I've always been the what's next? How do we get there? How is what I'm doing now hamstringing my ability to do what I want to do?
Well,
in the
you're a
future?
singer.
Right? Like, how am I fucking up my future right now by doing this? But I'm really trying to do that more and more if I can. And like, if we stop right now, this moment right now that we're having, right? We're here, we're live on Patreon, where we have patrons that have joined that support us. And they support us monetarily every month, right? That is unbelievable to me. And that's
wild.
absolutely amazing.
Fucking wild to
and
me.
awesome, and it helps so much. You have no idea, right?
Yeah.
So we have that, and we're talking about when we couldn't be together for shows, we were both able to go do separate versions of our shows with guest hosts, which means that, like, one, those people were willing to do that. Two, we both have built something to where we trust each other to go do that. Right? Like, what other group have you been in where you've been like, I'm not going to be there. You go ahead, guys. I trust you to kill it. Right? Like, we were able to do that.
I mean, all right, so like this is like touching on next week's or 2 weeks episode where we talked to Jag from a Skylight Drive. And
Right,
it's
right.
Like,
And we're talking about band stuff and everything, but in general,
that's what we know. That's
Yeah.
that's what we know. But also as collaborators ourselves,
right?
and knowing our own work ethics,
Yeah,
and trusting each other with. I mean, we wouldn't have gotten into the podcast thing if we didn't trust our.
true. But even when we got into the podcast thing, I didn't imagine that I'd be doing an episode without you.
Right.
We talked about when we did PR, like, okay, if one of us has to do an interview without the other one, that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, we can do it. We can figure it out. Like, we mentioned that a couple times, right? But when it came up, it wasn't even a concern for me. I was just kind of like, all right, well, I know whatever you do is going to be great. I just have to make sure what I do is going to be good. Right? And that alone, being able to be like, I don't have to worry or think about what your episode's going to be. I just have to focus on mine. Because yours is going to be great. Right? And I didn't even worry about it. I didn't even think about it. And that's a weird place to be.
That's so weird that you even, like, said that. Because I was just like, they're going to do great.
Right?
For me, I just kind of knew.
Right.
But for me, my perspective was, I hope what I do is good enough.
Yeah, and I was the same way. But we're always going to be that way. But we're lucky to be in a position to where we don't have to worry about everything. Right? So this is one of those moments where it's like, we have our patrons. Mm-hmm. That's a huge thing. That's amazing. We have our listeners. That's amazing that we built that. We built it to a point where we can have these guest hosts that give us their time for free, and they're ultra talented, incredible people that are super cool that are going to come in and do this with us. And we've built enough of it with ourselves also that like it was okay. Like, AJ wasn't going to be like, man, I don't really want to do it with Jim. I'd rather do it with Mike. He would have been fine either way. And Tori wasn't going to be like, man, if Mike's not there, I can't do it. Because we've built it to where we're both, we both have shown our work ethic and our worth and our ability to do this. And then neither of us had to worry about what the other one was going to do. We were just like, okay, you got this? Cool, you got it. I got this. And it was like, okay, I got the AJ thing. I'm going to edit it. I'm going to put it out. And I edited it different than you edit the videos. Mm-hmm. And I didn't worry about that either. I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. It's going to go out. It's going to be fine. And, like, none of that stuff was even a concern because we've built it to this point. And so I guess I'm just taking this moment to kind of like go, I hope you realize that too, because I did. And it was pretty fucking awesome to kind of like look at that and go like, oh man, we're in a pretty cool spot. And I appreciate the spot that we're in.
I do appreciate the spot that we're in, but I don't think I realized it until now.
Well, good. That's what I'm here for.
I'm gonna legitimately say, like, man, yeah, that's a whole other perspective that I never really like. I took it as more of a holy shit, we pulled that off.
Right.
You know, like I was once we get into the show, I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. But
getting to the show is a whole other ball of wax, right?
I agree with that.
And like, peek behind the curtain, I do a lot of booking. Mm-hmm. I do all the booking.
You do all the booking.
I mean, shit. Something that you're going to see on Friday is something that happened. He was 40 minutes late.
Yeah. And
we were like, hey, I don't know if we're going to be able to do this episode. And you know what? We adjusted. We figured it out. We did it. And not only did we do it, but despite the 40 minutes he was late, and despite the time we were allotted, we were still able to make a really great connection. Yeah. And make a friend in the show.
Well, and you know what? And that brings us all the way back around to the beginning, because we were talking about schedules and we were talking about reminders. Mm. And we had a schedule today.
We did.
And that schedule.
We fucking did.
That schedule got fucked. Right?
Yeah.
And so we had to go, all right, we're 40 minutes in, and in these past 40 minutes, we've done nothing because we've been waiting. Mm-hmm. So now we have to do this episode. We're going to have 0 time between our interview episodes because we did them back to back today, right? Because usually we have some time in between. Not today because he was late, so we carried on. We finished. Our second interview was at 7 p.m. We finished our first interview at 6:58. Right? That's when we signed off for that. So 0 time. Literally get off, open the screen for the next episode. You run out to pee. I throw some ice in our drinks. And if he's coming on, we click on, bring up our notes for the episode, and go. Right? And then right from that episode, we had 8 minutes before we were about to go live with this that we're doing right now. And usually, that's when we would record our intro and outro to each episode. We jammed one in between. We still have to do another one, but all of everything, it got thrown into disarray. But we're not freaking out, we're not stressed, we're not anything. We're just rolling with it because hey man, not everything goes to schedule. Everything can still go to plan if it doesn't go on a schedule.
Hence the reminders.
And that's and I think sometimes I'm a calming force to you. I also sometimes I'm a heightened anxiety force to you when I'm like, it's gonna be fine, let's just go, right? But
mostly the no. I agree with the first one.
But yeah, I think sometimes I can be that for you because in my mind it's always just like it just has to get done. Yeah. It doesn't matter what order it gets done. It doesn't matter what time it gets done. It just has to get done. If I got to do a little bit more, if I got to stay up later, if I got to do it now, if I got to move things, it's got to get done. If I don't feel like doing it right now, I still got to do it later. So maybe I got to stay up later, but it's got to get done. Right? And it's like that internal drive and that internal clock of like, before I lay down for bed, there's no alarm for when I go to bed. But I know that before I go to bed tonight, these are the things that have to be done.
Right.
If I do them all at the end of the night because I wanted to watch TV and I wanted to do something else, or I got caught up at work or this or that or the other, then you know what? I got to stay up and I got to do them, and I'm going to go to bed late. But they got to get done before I go to bed. If I don't like cramming, I'll spread them out through the day. When I got some time, I'll hit things here and there, stuff like that. Which works for me. Does not work for everyone. At all.
It's a thing.
I get it. But, yeah, that brings us all the way back down. Today was... that's all that.
That's what today's about.
I lost my point. You
didn't... It wasn't terrible.
I talked in a circle.
It wasn't terrible. But what I will say is this. I will say that... we appreciate every single fucking person that gives us the time of day.
Yeah. Because you don't owe us that.
Yeah. We put 3 things out a week. Plus a Twitch stream.
Yeah.
Plus whatever the fuck else we're doing.
Yeah. But generally we do it all in one day.
Yeah. We do. But... you don't owe us anything, but we do appreciate you.
Yeah.
A lot because you allow us to do this, right? Like,
yeah,
we're able to continue to do podcasting because you guys put those reviews in. You guys listen. You guys beat the algorithm, all that kind of stuff. You guys join the Patreon. Where you can watch episodes live being done.
Like right now.
Well,
yeah.
Well, no.
right now.
So,
But if
so
you're
right
listening,
now,
if you're listening to
if you're
this
listening
on
on
Spotify,
Spotify,
then not right now.
yeah, this might have been edited even a little bit. Maybe.
Shit, it could have come out years ago if you're listening on Spotify. Who knows when you listen to this?
Exactly. Something that I do want to say is, and I didn't really get to do it. Okay. So we got a week, right?
Okay.
A little over a week.
Till what?
Until I'm wearing a shirt.
Ah. Oh, by the way, you're wearing sleeves today
I'm wearing sleeves today.
and no hat.
And no hat.
And I am wearing
No sleeves.
no sleeves and a hat.
And a hat. I'm wearing a sleeved shirt today because on the 12th of May, our homies, and that is 2 weeks from 2 days from now, our homies in Haunter, they're putting out a fucking single.
Yeah. A really cool one, too.
And not only is it like a good single,
Yeah.
it's a fucking great single.
It's exceptional. It really is.
And then next week, I hope I remember to say this, but I'm going to try and plug it again.
Okay.
I won't do it.
I'll try and remember to remind you.
I won't do it on Friday or Monday. But the next episode that we do, just the two of us, see,
You and I.
I hope I remember it because it is that great of a single. So go check out Haunter. Prep yourself. Pre-save it.
Haunter isn't real on all the socials.
Exactly. But as soon as they had the thick thighs, sad vibes shirt.
I love that saying, for one. Two, I also like that the shirt kind of reminds me of an old school Bret Hitman Hart shirt. We got the skull with the heart with the wings.
Yeah.
You know?
But for me, it was like the sad vibes, thick thighs.
Sad vibes,
And
thick
it's like,
thighs. I like that.
You get it. You
I
get
like
it.
it.
So while we're plugging things, Jimmy, where can they find you?
Where can they find the single Separate Ways by the band Something Heavy? You can find it on all
That's not me,
streaming
though.
platforms.
I mean, that's not you.
Something
That
Heavy.
is me.
And at Something Heavy Band, right?
On most of
Most
of them.
Because that's what I said on the
Twitter.
AJ episode. I said, did I get all those right?
You did.
Okay.
You would have gotten them right until about yesterday because I didn't realize that or 2 days ago, I didn't realize Twitter's Something Heavy 1.
Right, yeah.
I didn't know
changed.
that.
I didn't either. But that's
Until
okay. It
yesterday.
doesn't matter because you're not on it.
2 days ago.
You're not. It's
That's
fine. So, yeah, Something Heavy has a new single, Separate Ways. You should check that out. So let's plug that. Yeah. My band's Craving
We
Strange.
put the lyric video out on strangerhoodtv.com just this past Tuesday.
Yes. My band Craving Strange is at cravenstrange.net. You can find us there. Find us on all the socials. And we got new music that we're working on now, so we'll see what's coming. But we have some show announcements coming up. Show announcements!
Who are you playing with?
We might be playing with something heavy.
Ooh, I need to find players.
That's why I said might. Yeah, you can find us there, cravingstrange.net. Find me, Jimmy G Shoes, on all the socials where you can find out what I'm doing for Craving Strange, what I'm doing with Bacon is My podcast. If I'm just somewhere that I find interesting, I'll take a picture of my shoes there because I got lots of cool shoes and, I like to show them off sometimes.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Where can they find you other than Something Heavy on all streaming platforms?
Yeah, so, me personally, I am at Me My Own Self Mike. But something I do a lot is something called Bacon's My Podcast. And some of the ways that you can help us out is heading to baconsmypodcast.com and checking out all of the things on there, including the merch,
Get one of our cool t-shirts, man.
including the sponsors that we have that will give you fantastic deals.
I tell you what. One, our fantastic deals for the sponsors are all up to date, and that if you get the best, you'll get the best price on everything that we got. So definitely check that out.
Indeed.
But two, our merch sales have slowed down a little bit. They've slowed down a little bit. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because we don't have the stuff that you want. So,
dude, the hardcore shirt is fucking dope.
It is dope. So's the More Bacon shirt. I think that's pretty awesome too. I'm a fan of both of those.
If you don't have the hardcore bacon shirt, and the More Bacon shirt is pretty sweet too. If you don't have one of those, like, let's get on it.
But yeah, if there's something that you think would be awesome, let me know. We'll make it.
Tell us on at Bacon's My Pod on all the social media platforms. We're still on Twitch, Twitter. No,
Twitch.
No, what's the one I'm looking for?
Twitch. Thursdays.
We're on Twitch. We're on Twitter. We're on TikTok.
Oh,
we do TikTok. We do TikTok still. I've kind of figured it out, and it happens. It happens every once in a while, and I try. I'm trying.
Yeah,
I'm trying.
If you want to find out all of our personal information and download it and put us in the algorithm, it's on Twitter or on TikTok.
TikTok.
On TikTok.
But if you need to, like, if you think there's a better idea for a shirt,
send it to me.
Sad vibes, thick thighs.
If you got a cool saying you think works well with bacon, let us know. Hashtag what's your bacon? Hashtag bacon merch. Let us know, and we'll maybe we'll make something. Maybe we'll make a contest or something like that. Maybe we'll do something with the patrons. See if there's a design that you guys want. Maybe we'll make a limited edition or we'll make a one of one. We're only gonna make one, and only one person can buy it.
I like that.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure something out. But I would like to. I'd like to figure out a way to kind of like up that so that it can help us and that you can have some cool stuff. So let us know what you want to wear and what you want to see.
Indeed. And besides that, I think we've covered a lot of things here. What's
Twitch.tv/Bacon's My Pod. Every Thursday night we are live. We are making a record. We are making an EP.
And we got a guitar that they gave us. They fucking gave us to record this record.
Michael Kelly Guitars has donated a guitar for us to use for this. We already had one of their basses. We're going to be using that. We're going to be talking about it, showcasing it, all that kind of stuff. Join us on there if you want to know about the songwriting process, about the recording process. We're done with our edits, I believe. Well, we got one more edit kind of round to do this week, and we're going to start talking about tracking and who we're going to get to play on this, and
maybe some past guests of Bacon is My Podcast.
Yeah, you never know. You never know.
Mayhaps.
So, tune in and check that out. Stay in the conversation with #WhatYouBacon. Thank you to our patrons. We do appreciate you and love you. You guys make the world go round. You guys sizzle our pork. That's what you do. That's what you do. You are the sizzle to our steak pieces. So thank you for being that. If you're interested in being a patron, patreon.com/baconismypodcast.
Otherwise, always remember to ask yourself one super important question.
Just one.
Just one super important question. What is it?
What's your
Wait. I got this one.
Okay.
You got the world peace part.
All right.
Wait, line.
Line.
What's your bacon?
World peace.